Hello, brothers and sisters. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. This is Uncle Lenny. This evening, I'm so privileged sitting next to Pastor TK, all the way from Zambia. Pastor, you're welcome, and please introduce yourself to my viewers.
I'm so grateful to be on your channel. My name's Tom Kasanda, aka Pastor TK. If you came into Zambia looking for Pastor Tom Kasanda, you might end up sleeping by the station. So they call me Pastor TK. I come from a family of 5 initially. There were 3 boys and 2 girls. We lost one of the girls. I still have my sisters Gladys and Frida, and my brother Collins. So that is a little about me. I grew up in Charleston. I went to Charleston Primary School. I did my grade 1 up to grade 7 there. So most of my formatives, most of my primary time of life, it was a lot of Charleston.
A lot of Charleston.
In Lusaka, the capital city of Zambia.
Capital city. Pastor, thank you so much. So, Pastor, let me take you a little bit about the conference. How was the conference?
Wow, the conference was amazing. Divine help. I was so blessed. I was so blessed to hear different ministers of the gospel, Bishop Rutivi, Apostle Rutivi, and Apostle Lazarus from South Africa. They really blessed my life. The opening by Pastor Jerry, Pastor Isaac, our host, it was really so powerful. It really revolutionized my life and catapulted my thinking to another level. I was so challenged and built up in my spirit. I told Apostle Rutivi, I say, the first Sunday I'm going to be in church, I'm going to be sharing part of the stuff that is in the conference. And I want to say thank you to Brother Kelvin and together with my friend Aubrey in Turkey, who decided to put together a resource for me to be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, just to come and attend this conference. We call each other brothers for life, and truly these are brothers for life, thinking about their friend. We've got a friend who's a minister of the gospel. Why don't we pull him this direction for him to have a feel of the other part of the world and how ministry is done? You see, I was so challenged to see the excellence, the way you organized the conference, and there were things were set up, the sound and everything. I was so challenged, and I'm going to carry most of that home and see how we can learn from that.
Thank you, amen, Pastor. So, Pastor, I'm so grateful. But you see, brothers and sisters, I just wanted to send him a little bit on the conference, because today we have so many topics that we are going to cover. So, Pastor, I appreciate that you made it to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and you attended our conference. Are you coming next year?
Definitely. Next year, I want to come with a team.
Okay.
I want to come with a team, and I've been telling them back home, I say, you guys, start saving for your air tickets. We need to come as a team. I was so challenged to see Apostle Rutivi coming with over 26
people on the way.
People all the way from Kenya to come and be part of this conference. So people didn't travel that far in vain. The impact of the conference, the positive impact that it leaves on you, I'm telling you, it's going to take me the whole year to recover from that conference. It really blessed my life. And the way I was welcomed at church, just by the host, Pastor Jerry, it became a message to my team back in Lusaka. I said, you guys, if we can have the skills to welcome people like that in church, we're not going to be losing the newcomers to church. So I felt so comfortable at home. I can't think of going to another place.
Wow, Pastor, thank you so much. So now, Pastor, first, I want to tell my viewers, I remember the time when you used to walk in the street of Charleston, the time when you used to gather those street kids and bring them up to the house of God. What motivated you? What did you see in those kids that were just roaming around? Some of them, they were rebellious at home, but when they hear your name, they are able to humble themselves and come in the house of God. Can you tell my viewers the time when you were going in the street of Charleston?
Firstly, Pastor TK comes from Luapula province, in a small village that is about 20 miles from Mwense district. So I came into Lusaka in 1994. I think I was 5 years old. And then by the grace of God, I came to meet the Lord in 1987 when I was just at 10 years old. And that was a serious encounter led to the Lord by the man called Pastor Frank Mtale. That's where I came to meet friends like Brother Kelvin, Brother Aubrey, and the other rest of the brothers. And it was a red hot program, mentorship by that man. And we were so aggressive. So later on from Avondale, the part of Charleston, we crossed over to Charleston near the small market there. And that is where I found a community. There was actually a portion of that community that was called the Dark City.
The Dark City, yeah.
Because I don't know what happened there. There was the Dark City actually had houses that had electricity around them, except that Kalito City in the middle.
Wow.
And I said, we are not going to be calling it this as Dark City, we're going to be calling it as the Delivered City. And we found the young ones just threw up themselves in various vices that were very, very destructive behaviors. So by the grace of by the grace of God, God gave me wisdom to gather those young ones. And I said, how am I going to do that? So I used music.
Okay.
Yeah, I used music. I used to love a lot of music. And so I started gathering them using music. And God, Brother Lemmy, you would not believe, he began to transform lives from that small group using music. Some of them today are ministers of the gospel from that group. From that team that was rebellious, from that team that never listened to their mothers. They just had their lives turned around by the power of the gospel through music. So music is something that is very, very powerful, and I'm so proud that today some of them, they call me Pastor. That impact that you left on our lives, this is what has made us to be who we are today.
So brothers and sisters, just in case the man sitting over here, I mean, if you talk about the Dark City, it's a place in Lusaka, Zambia, where it has little electricity, but the children that we are living over there, it was the children that thought they don't have any life. Until when he said, I need to take them into a music. As you can hear right now, some of them, they are ministers in a gospel. When I heard this story, it really touched me a lot, because in most cases, there are certain children that are neglected just because of the location. But in your case, you did not look on where the kids were coming from, but you gave them light by bringing them to the house of God. I remember how they used to dance in church.
I'm telling you, that group, we used to have what we are calling as a big Sunday in the Apostolic Church under one of my late mentors, Apostle Leonard Wunda. Big Sunday, all the churches gathered in Lusaka, and they were looking forward to my group in Charleston to come and sing. It used to be an aggressive team. It used to be an aggressive singing group, and we thank God for what he did from the Dark City to the Delivered City.
The Delivered City. Yeah. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So that's the part that my audience, I wanted them to hear. You may be hearing this message anywhere else in the world. You may be seeing a child going astray. Where we come from, he says, it takes a village to raise a child. So do not say, no, this is not my child. Look what Pastor did. He gathered all these kids that were rebellious to their parents. But today, they are the ones that carries the message. Hallelujah. So Pastor, I wanted to tell me, my viewers, where exactly are you found in Copperbelt? Which church? What is the name of the church that you are found, in case I have viewers that are listening in Copperbelt?
So I'm with the Apostolic Church in Zambia. Don't mistake it for these other apostolic churches. There are a lot of apostolic churches. There's Apostolic Faith, Apostolic Word, Apostolic Church in Zambia, usually associated with Kaniki Bible College, where most of us are trained. So we have over 200 plus churches in the country. And Kitwe, the Copperbelt, which is about 300 miles from the capital city, that is where I am, particularly in Kwacha East. I live in Kwacha East, but the church is in Kwacha. It's just a 5 minutes drive from there. The currency there is called Kwacha, and I live in Kwacha.
Wow.
Yes. Kwacha, which means it has dawned now. We are out of darkness. So that is where we are, and it's a beautiful community. Yeah, but because of the challenging economic environment, a lot of youths have gone into a lot of vices like gang groups and stuff. And so we have been praying that God gives us that community, and we have been seeing the Lord doing that as we go into schools and do ministry. Because I also minister to, I speak to over 6,000 youths in a month. Yeah, in 5 schools where I'm ministering with School Mission for Christ. So if you are in Kitwe, look for Pastor TK. You're not going to be lost. You can go to the police station. I used to minister to the officers every Thursday. At the main office, you can go to ShopRite, ask the managers, they'll tell you about Pastor TK. Go to ZRIA, go to many places, they'll know about Pastor TK. They should have met me somewhere, either as an MC, I was facilitating somewhere as an MC, or I was leading praise and worship, or I was preaching, I was doing a mentorship class, or I was doing couples, because those are my thrusts in ministry. I discovered that you become more effective by being selective.
Pastor, I'm so touched that you're able to move office to office to preach the gospel, because some of them, they says, I'm very busy working, I didn't have time because I've been at work. But you had to find your time to follow them on their working places. Go and even minister in the ShopRite to those that are busy shopping. So, brothers and sisters, if you are in the part of the Copperbelt, I know I have viewers in Kitwe, mostly on the Kitwe Central Hospital. If you are there one Sunday, please go to Pastor TK and said, we saw this on Uncle Lenny's channel. You'll be welcome like a family.
That would be great.
So we'll be looking forward to hear your testimonies when you visit Pastor TK's church, the viewers that are in Copperbelt.
Prophetic Worship Center.
Hallelujah.
From Mitanto High School, it's about 900 meters from there, so you can't miss it.
You can't miss it.
Yes, from Riverside Police Station, it's a 5 minutes drive. So you can't miss that place. It's just by the corner of 4 roads. Apostolic Church in Zambia, Prophetic Worship Center, a place of dominion and distinction.
Hallelujah. So, brothers and sisters, Pastor is we have so much to cover. We talked a little bit about the music. He's a coach. He is a counselor. So today, I'm going to divert a little bit so that we can go in a book. The book that he wrote. He talks more about the marriages. So that's where we're going to have to talk. Pastor, I want you to tell me what inspired you to write this book?
The title of the book is Repositioning the Man to His Rightful Place. Very quickly, as we dive into the book, my thrust in ministry is usually the singles, those that are on transition from adolescent into adulthood and they're planning to settle down with a life partner. So I do a lot of mentorship classes for the singles. We have a group called Singles with a Destiny, and then the couples. We have Couples with a Destiny with over 5,000 members online. You can go on Facebook, look for Couples with a Destiny, request to be a member there. And then the Praise and Worship Ministry and the Economic Empowerment. These are my 4 thrusts in ministry. So basically, I came to realize that in a setup, especially the African setup, when we are talking about the making of a bride and a groom, the concentration is usually on the bride. So they would look up the bride and begin to make her into a wife. And then for the man, they just get an uncle for 2 days and sit down with you as a man and say, this is popcorn presentation they call marriage counseling, and then usher you and say you are the head of the house. Now that has caused Uncle Lemmy a lot of divorces in the country. Last year alone we did 30,000 recorded marriage divorces. 30,000 recorded marriage divorces. From 2017 up to last year, we have not recorded less than 94,000 recorded marriage divorces. Now, on average per year, we are having 20,000 recorded marriage divorces. It would interest you to learn that the average number of people that are marrying in a year, they are 5,000. The divorces are 20,000 on average.
Wow.
Meaning those that are married compared to those that are divorcing, they're actually 4 times.
4 times, yeah.
And this is a plan of the devil to create You see, a marriage is the smallest institution of a government. So they are creating a hostile environment to groom the new leaders of the nation that are supposed to pick up the baton from us and the rest of the leaders, and that environment is being destroyed because of divorces. So you have a lot of single mothers, you have a lot of, street kids, and various things that are coming out because of these broken homes.
Broken homes.
Yeah. So this book is what it wants. That's a book. It wants to address that.
Okay.
And do a little contribution and see if we can reduce some of that.
I know maybe this may not be exactly what is in the book, but the statistics that you are telling us that the number of divorces, that is almost about 20,000 in a year. What could be the cause of all these divorces?
This is what this book is addressing. If we talk about, if you asked me, out of the many other reasons that are causing divorce, if you asked me, can you pick one, I'll tell you it's poor foundation.
Poor foundation.
What determines the strength of the structure? It has to do with the foundation.
The foundation.
If you decided on the house that we are in that you wanted to add 3 more stories on this building, you're gonna destroy this house because the foundation does not correlate with the weight that you want to put on it. So these marriages, most of them, they are very poor foundation. So we have half-baked brides and grooms, and we want to usher them in an institution which only death must do them part. Only death should separate them. So let me give you a typical example. If you went to Quito Central Hospital, I'm coming from Quito, so allow me to
Yeah, sure.
And my closest schools there are Helen Kaunda and Quito Boys. If you gave Quito Central Hospital, here is a young boy from Helen Kaunda, here is a young girl from Helen Kaunda, can you make her into a nurse? It will take them 3 years to do that. If you get the young boy from Quito Boys and say, can you make this one into a teacher? It will take them 3 years. But if we got the bride and groom to be, here are the brides, can you make them into a bride? It is taking us 12 sessions. There are 12 who Pastor TK is counseling them, and they are 1 in a month. He goes to South Africa to order some suits. Yeah, because I do a little business as well. So they miss 2.
They miss 2.
The other 2, the guys, they are not there themselves because they are rushing into making a wedding and they forget about marriage. There is a difference between a wedding and a marriage. A wedding happens in 1 day. A marriage is for life. And most of these younger persons, they are investing a lot into their wedding. They pay a lot on those who are making cakes for them. They pay a lot on those who are doing this for them. But look at the marriage counseling. How much are they investing in that? Because that is a pillar of their marriage. It is the teachings, the training for them to become. So if you ask me, one of the reasons is a poor foundation. And the first reason marriages fail is because of poor headship. This is why we need to reposition the man who is the head of the house to take up his place. Then these marriages can be salvaged.
Hallelujah. I like the fact that you have looked at the foundation of marriages, because if we look about what is happening in the world now, the devil is taking so much root. So if we don't have people like you to making sure that these marriages have a base, of course we're going to see a lot of these divorces. And so, Pastor, I want you to tell my viewers a little bit more about the book. Where can my viewers find this book?
Okay, so if you're in Pittsburgh at a House of Transformation, I have been blessed by the great leadership of Pastor Isaac Jerry. Get your copy. I have less than 20 copies, and get your copy. But in this comment section, I'm going to send you a link. One of my disciples was at the Copperbelt University.
Okay.
He has created a platform.
Okay.
I think something very close to Amazon.
Okay.
But you see, these are intelligent young men who want to come up with something they would call their own.
Yes.
Yeah, something of their own. So it's you can buy using Airtel money, MTN money, your Visa card, your debit card, anything. So we're gonna put it in the comment section. You can get a soft copy, about 120 kwacha, which is about a $5, $7, $8 somewhere there. And then the hard copy is $12.
$12.
Yeah.
So brothers and sisters, make sure you find yourself having this copy in your home, because the people they're saying knowledge is power. So if you're thinking of having a home, you need to make sure that you have a solid foundation, and that's the reason when Pastor Tike comes in to making sure that he put all the foundation in this book. I will encourage you to go on our YouTube channel. We'll leave a link where you can find this book, because you just need to have this book. Pastor, why did you just look on the men? Are you going to look into the women too? Because now, sorry to cut you short. Why? I'm sorry to cut you short. I know we are talking about men as the pillars of the home, but now look at the society now. Even the women themselves. Are you going to have to write another book for the women as well?
I'll be writing several other books, but this book is not specifically just for the men.
Okay.
Yeah, it is for the young ladies that are planning to get married, for the young men that are planning to get married, and those that are already married. So it encompasses, it's just that it's got a little biasness towards the men, because I feel that the first reason why a marriage breaks is because of a man.
Because of a man.
Because he is the head. Everything rises and falls on leadership. There's a Chinese proverb that says if a fish wants to get rotten, it starts from the head. So if we reposition the head, who is the man, then everything is going to fall into place. You see, your head can't be going this direction and your body goes the other direction. The direction that the head goes, that's the direction that the community goes. So when you find immorality and madness around the community, it is telling you the caliber of men and headship that we have in that particular
community.
Yes. Yeah. So when we start with headship, then we're going to sort out a lot of things. When you find economies that are struggling, you still relate them to headship.
To headship.
Yes. Yeah. So there is a portion here that I've put for marriage, and in marriage you will find a husband and a wife there. So you're going to find this book very, very, very rich and very, very helpful. It's a small, powerful book that you can use as a manual. You can sit down as a men's fellowship and pick a chapter each, and it's gonna revolutionize your entire men's fellowship. So it's very, very important that you find yourself a copy and find a way to be a blessing to others. Order it. I'm trying to get counsel from Pastor Charity and make sure that it is also on Amazon before I go, before I return to Zambia. Yes.
Pastor, you are doing a great job, and we thank God that you are looking at having heads in the community, because if the society is going astray, it starts from, as you said it, or what kind of men or what kind of leadership we have. So we are so grateful that you took time and making sure that you bring all the ideas into this book. So brothers and sisters, you are encouraged to have this book. Brothers and sisters, it's important to buy one and give it to your neighbor if you need to have a solid community. You have seen nowadays that the society, our children are hard to control. Why? Because we don't have too many heads in the community. So, but if we have strong men, we have men with values, with the foundation, of course we're going to have a good future. So Pastor, yes, I know we have so much to tackle.
You provoked me. You talked about the children.
Yes.
When I was doing a research about children, I actually discovered that here in your communities in America, an average parent, and it's actually becoming true for Zambia as well, spends 37 minutes per day with their children.
37 minutes a day?
Yes. Now, that is on average. Others, they don't even have that 37 minutes because they are extremely very busy. Now, in the conference, I think Pastor Charity made a statement that really captured my attention. He says, if you have no time for your children, there is another person who has time for them.
That's exactly.
If you have no time for your wife, there is another person who will have time for your wife. If you have no time for your husband, another person has time for your husband. So what is happening is that these children are actually being raised by cartoons, they're being raised by TV and internet. We bought them gadgets. So they have replaced our parenthood and mentorship. The ability to release ourselves into them is no longer there. So most of our children, they are created in the image of SpongeBob. Yes.
I think that's where we are getting wrong so much, because we don't even know who is coaching what online, who they are talking to. As much as you said that if you don't give time to your wife, someone else give time to them,
Yes.
especially to the children. Do we ever know who they are connecting up with online? Who's teaching them what? That's where we are missing so much in our community, especially in this part of the world. I think that's where we are finding ourselves into trouble, because we have this excuse to say, oh wow, it's America, it's hard to control the children. The question is, how much time do you give for your family?
It's very difficult to control the children, because what determines output, it is input. What you have put in them is what will determine how they'll project themselves in their society. One of my friends from St. Peter's Anglican Church, Father Robert Sihuwa, said a statement that has stuck with me for almost 2 years. He says there is a difference between raising children and rearing children. Now, if you're talking about rearing, you're referring to the simplest example we can talk about it is this: you are doing poultry.
Yes.
What you're doing there is not, you are not raising the children, the chickens. You are raising, you are rearing them.
You are rearing them.
Yes, you just put feed there. You don't leave instructions. So if you see your friend eat some feed, leave space, then you also come and eat. No, you just throw it, survival of the fittest. That's why when you want to buy the chickens, you want to get the heavier ones. You indirectly are saying, we want to know the one who ate more than the other friends. Yes, but you see, when you're talking about children, you have to train them, you have to raise them. And what determines output is simple. What have you done? You see, that 37 minutes accounts for 4 hours 32 minutes in a week. And in a week we have got 168 hours. If you look at the difference, you're talking about 164. Who is spending time with your children in that 164? In a year you are talking about 9 days out of the 365 days.
Wow.
That's the only time that you are with the children. So this book is also challenging fathers. Create time for your children. Take them out, be with them, let them ask questions. They are growing up.
Brothers and sisters, this topic is it's real life. You heard the hours that we spend with our children, with our family. 4 hours in a week. The question is, who spend with them the rest of the hours? Who is there behind that screen? Who tells what? That's where the key the key is. So it's important to find time for our families. It's important to find time for our children. Now, Pastor, that now we are still talking over this topic, and you are a pastor. You want to tell the viewers, at what point did you say, listen now, I think I'm at home with the children, I won't pick up this phone call? How do you balance your time between your busy schedule of pastorship, counseling, music, and of course family? How do you balance your time?
You see, Uncle, whether you are from Africa or this part of the world, God has given us 24 hours on us. And the issue is what two of my mentors, I'm a product of mentors, and I really appreciate this aspect of mentorship. These programs where Facebook is trying to raise children for us is not the best program. We need to take children at the feet of mentors to be taught. One day Bishop Oyedepo, my distant mentor, was asked, I said, since you are a very busy man, how do you create time to pray and study the Bible? He answered the question by asking another question. I said, how do you create time to eat? Because even if people are very busy, they will still
find time to eat. Yes.
They will still find time to eat. The other mentor that really challenged me in Bible school is Dr. Rodo Simkonda. He said, anything that you consider important, you will create time for it. Anything. If you hear somebody say, no, I can't come to church, I'm very busy, I can't do this. No. Anything you consider important, you create time for it. The reason you are not in church is not because you're very busy. Because it's not as important. The reason you are not spending time with your children is because it's not as important. What is more important for you is to raise these monies and dollars. You want to raise all this money, then you bring it to a home where children have already been spoiled by internet and TV. So you think these are your children, but they're actually somebody's children. Because a child any son must have the reflection of their father.
Hallelujah.
When God created Adam and Eve, he says, I'm going to create him in my image and in my likeness. The image of God speaks about the reflection and the character of the Father. Meaning that if no one has ever seen my Father, he must see the image of my Father in me. Jesus said, you're asking me about who your father is. Thomas, if you have seen me, then you have seen my father. So every child must be a reflection and a true representation of their father. But how many fathers on this platform who are watching us who can proudly say, if you have seen my son, then you have seen me? Because the characters they have, they are not created in our image. So most of these children, they are created in different images. They have 17 images. So they can't represent their father. And then the likeness of the father speaks about the father's way of doing things. Businesses in Africa, when the owner dies today, it fragments into 7 directions. They can't continue. But look at our Indian friends. At 5, they have already started getting the boy into the lineage of what he's doing. They know how daddy raises money. Now you want to leave the children at home because you want to raise money for the children. Why don't you take them out on a weekend and say, come and see how we make money? Yes. Otherwise, if you leave them with these gadgets, by the time you realize your 9-year-old boy will be addicted to pornography and would have joined Freemasonry, witchcraft and Satanism using his phone. Yes. So it's very, very important. Anything you consider important, quoting Dr. Rodos, you will create time for it.
Hallelujah. So Pastor, thank you so much for the message this evening. You know, I had an opportunity to watch your beautiful daughters worshiping. Now I've seen why they have become so much, because they have taken up from their father. So the question is, do they have Facebook? Your kids have Facebook?
They have. I needed to greet my girl, my wife. We call her Carol Baby at yahoo.tk.
Okay.
That's my first girl before the other girls. We met some 16 years ago. And we have 3 beautiful kids. They are all TKs, by the way.
They're all TKs.
So we have Tapiwa Kasanda, we have Talwaka Shalom Kasanda, and then we have Tehila. They are all singers. I featured my first girl in our first video. You can watch that one on YouTube. Just go to Pastor TK. You'll see the song on Zambia, Let Us Unite, Africa, Let Us Unite. And so they I started grooming them to do music when they were inside their mother's womb. I realized that I could actually talk to them before they came out on the planet. And I used to play guitars for them. And they would respond. When they came on the planet, they were wired. They were wired for music.
I like the foundation. So my question is, do you monitor what they do on Facebook? At times, do you sit down with because I've seen how they can stand up in a community. Do you check their Facebook page?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Actually, we have made it a policy with my wife.
Okay.
When we're going to sleep, all the phones, they go to the bedroom.
Okay.
No one uses gadgets after bedtime, because sometimes you would think that your children are sleeping. They are busy doing chatting and connecting with people that they don't even know. So we closely monitor that, and we only give them out phones when they have to do their homeworks, when it is necessary. And before they are 18, we are really very strict about how they use these gadgets. So as much as we want them to be exposed to technology, we don't want them to be exposed to every madness that is on social media and the internet. So we've taken it very serious a program. And in Zambia, we've got what we call Pastor's Resting Day, which is a Monday. So that Monday is dedicated to the girls. Sometimes after service on Sunday, I take them. You should go to my Facebook page. You would find me with my children away from the pastoral jackets, and I'm just swimming with them, and we are playing with them, and just creating time for them, because the first boyfriend that they must have is their dad.
Yeah. So brothers and sisters, you can hear how Pastor TK is raising his family. I really wanted to know, to tap into that foundation, how he handles his home. And you can hear what he said, that there's always time to everything. It's time to eat, but when it is bedtime, the kids has to hand over their gadgets. It's time to sleep, because it will be that very time when you're thinking they are sleeping, when they are connected to the people that they are not supposed to be connected with at that particular hour. Pastor, you are doing very fine. You are doing very great. I just wanted us to talk a little bit about your music. I know we have a CD that you were playing at the park. I really enjoyed that song. I wish that we had enough time where we could have played another second song. Tell us a little bit about your music.
Well, most of the music, like you hear, this is my second album, Semuneima. Yeah, it means get up.
Get up.
Yeah, you've been sleeping for a long time. Get up.
Okay.
Most of my music comes from the Charleston background.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I played my CDs and I gathered my team from Charleston, those that are around, they're gonna dance to it. It has some Congolese touch on it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know where I come from in Luapula province, we're just
next to Congo,
next to DRC, and so my music was also influenced by that particular orientation. So most of the songs, they come from the Charleston background. My first album, actually, most of it I actually wrote it in Lusaka.
Okay.
Yes, it's only the second album when I was trying to play basics on my keyboard, learn some basics, that's where I wrote my second. And most of it in Charleston, just on guitar, part of it in Ndola, where I got my wife from. So with this technology of Facebook, WhatsApp, and what I want to redo most of my first project and then do videos.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you want audios for my first album, it's just an issue of contacting me on a WhatsApp on +260 969 511 474. So yeah, I could get you those albums. They are 100 kwacha each. I'm not sure how much that is in dollar.
It's about $10.
About $10. Yeah, I send them like that, and people buy them like that. Yeah, so don't miss this album. And if you're about to marry, don't miss. I did a song for my wife.
Okay.
On wedding day, on Thank You for Loving. It's a beautiful song.
All right.
You can dedicate it to your wife.
All right.
Yeah.
So brothers and sisters, make sure you get yourself a copy. Actually, I made a mistake. Today's exchange rate is almost 1965. So if you're talking about 100 kwacha, it's about $5 or $6 to be precisely. You can have yourself this copy, and this copy will bless you. I'm telling you, I was the one dancing even when I was at the park over that side. I was really blessed about this album. So please make sure that you have a look out. You can call again, you can get in touch with Pastor TK. What's the number again, Pastor, just in case for my viewers that are in Zambia?
Yeah, you know the code is plus
260, yes.
So it's 0969 511 474. You can send me an email on kasandatom@gmail.com, and then we can pick it up from there. Otherwise, the number is plus 260 969 511 474, and then I can wire you the songs. They are beautiful songs that will lift up your spirit.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, a lot of worship there as well. And as a singer, we say in music you don't have a language.
Hallelujah.
So I've done songs from my wife's language in Nyanja, Chewa. I've done songs in Swahili, I've done songs in Lingala, I've done songs in English, I've done songs in Bemba, and beautiful songs. Some of them we are singing them together with our dear wife. Yeah, so it's gonna bring a lot of memories to her, so we'll make sure that you get that copy as well. Yeah.
Definitely, I'm gonna have to have a copy myself. I'll be the first one making sure that I play on my music. So brothers and sisters, I want to encourage you that you find yourself a copy of this music and a copy of the book. Pastor, do you have any message as we come to an end of our conversation this evening?
Firstly, I want to do some of the videos for these two albums right here in the States before we go, so that we can have them on YouTube. So looking forward to a lot of music on YouTube. Yeah, there are a lot of preachings on YouTube that I've done, but very few songs. So because my music ministry was a little bit like going down, focusing on church.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that these move alongside simultaneously. And then there's a ministry now to write. Yeah. So firstly, I want to talk to the singles as we end the program. Yeah, with the wisdom of my friends right here in Pittsburgh. On those lines, I want you to make sure that you are part of a mentorship class that I want to start here. A mentorship class, I've got what I call a school of marriage, and then we are doing mentorship classes. I'm just from doing a class. I was talking about manners you need to develop before you marry. Yeah. So I want you to not give up in life, continue pushing, and make sure you've got a mentor in your life. To the couples, I want to say, every challenge that you're going through in that marriage, it has a solution.
It has a solution.
Don't give up. This voice from the pit of hell that is saying what you're going through in your marriage can never be resolved. It is a voice that must be silenced by the power of the Spirit of God. That challenge can be sorted out. All you need is right people in your life and sit down and connect. Every challenge has got a solution. If you are a worshiper, make sure that worship is not about making your name. There are a lot of things that have gone through this journey of praise and worship where people are focusing on their name. This is not about your name. It is Him that must be lifted up in our praise. The name of Christ. If you're running a business, you don't know how many times I've failed business. Just last year when I went into South Africa to order some musical instruments, 9 of my speakers out of the 11 were stolen. And we almost gave up. Don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. Keep pushing. And the Lord richly bless you. Remember, you are not born to occupy space because you have got worth. God brought you on the planet to leave prints here on earth. Get mentors in your life. Respect your elders. Honor your father and your mother. And the Lord richly bless you. And I want to say, God richly bless you and wish you the very best.
Pastor, thank you so much. I'm also going to take this opportunity just to acknowledge people that have been mentioned much, especially on this conference. I just wanted to take opportunity to just thanks Pastor Isaac Jerry and Pastor Charity for opening up your doors to so many of these men and women that came everywhere in the world. If you talk about, you can find that this one came from apostolic, the other one is from a Catholic, the other one is evangelical. So you can see that there are so many men and women of God that came from different denominations all over the world just to come and be part and be parcel of this conference that was taking place. So for that, I just wanted to say thank you, because you did not focus on only one church. You focus on, as long as you are a child of God, the door is open, which was so good. And of course, people like Brother Kelvin, who also, these are the people that we want, so many Brother Kelvins in our community that was going to stand up and uplift these men and women of God that are doing a noble cause, because it's not an easy thing. Pastor Tike left everything that he was doing in Zambia, but he came just to be part and parcel of the conference. So without people like Brother Kelvin, so we need more of the Brother Kelvin in the next year, 2024, so that we have so many of pastors coming from different parts of the world. And Pastor says he wants to come with his team. Pastor can't wait to see that team that I saw, to see them worshiping in Pittsburgh.
It's gonna be great.
We'll be looking forward to see. I saw how they can dance. I saw how they can bring heaven here on earth, because these guys, they can worship. So Pastor, I'm so grateful to have you on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for finding time. I know you are so busy. You're a busy man. I took you off from doing counseling and other stuff like that just to come and sit down with me. I appreciate, Pastor. I'll be looking forward to meet you again.
God bless you, and don't forget to subscribe to Uncle Amy's YouTube channel. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you, Pastor.